What's up, y'all? Welcome, Freeland.
If you're just joining us, welcome back. We are doing the Superman and Lois watch party. Are you excited? Oh, we doing the other
show? Wrong show, pal. No.
Sorry.
What's up, y'all? This is Black Lightning Matters podcast. This is the Carefree BlackNerd review over the show that is Black Lightning. I am your co-host, Rain Coleman, the Carefree Blurred, Carefree BlackNerd himself, and I have with me, like I do every week.
Hey, my name is Cole Jackson, the other host of the BLM pod, and we are drudging through this season, guys.
Yeah.
We're getting through.
Yes, indeed.
Yay.
Through, yes. Yeah, so thanks for joining, y'all. This is the farewell season. This is episode 3, Despite All My Rage. Now, if Black Lightning is nothing else, they are consistent with the titling of their episodes. This is the Book of, is it Reconstruction or Recognition?
Yes, the Book of Reconstruction.
Book of Reconstruction, Chapter 3, Despite All My Rage.
What I like to call it, the Book of Drumline. Where's Nick Cannon?
This nigga, he said the Book of Drumline. So for this episode, let me see. The description is as follows. Jefferson is feeling even more lost after a frustrating therapy session. Now, I don't know what's up with CWDC, but they only put one sentence as the summary. There was more than that last night. There was also some stuff.
I'm still waiting on this boy, this mysterious boy that Jennifer has been seeing in school.
Is it supposed to be TC?
No, it ain't TC.
I don't know. So this is what we'll do. Let everybody soak it all in, give people a chance to join, and we'll go ahead and play a little clip from this week's episode. Something that I find very interesting that we will be touching on over the course of this episode.
Let's do it.
All right.
I think I understand physics, and I'm using them to heal, no sparks. I want to understand Jen's rate of recovery.
Asking is too difficult.
I need to study the variables under controlled circumstances.
Gotcha. Going out, getting the crap beat out of you, that's a controlled circumstance?
What is wrong with you tonight? The more I know now, the better prepared I can be for future attacks like Gravedigger. I won't be caught flat-footed again, Jeff.
You're not like us. Okay? So what happens when your observations go too far?
This is not about my addiction. This is about protecting our girls, Jeff.
10 years ago, you asked me to stop being Black Lightning. I did. Hypocrisy looks good on you.
I'll stop when you put the suit back on. And stop with the pity party.
No, what you don't understand is that playing with these powers will lead to misery. So you want to be a weekend warrior, suit yourself. I want no part of it.
Yeah. If you want to be a weekend warrior, suit yourself. No parts in it.
Oh, you a hater, dog. Why you being such a hater, dog? That's you hating. You hating on her.
No. That's my rendition of Jefferson.
How much they pay Christine Adams to get naked?
Gotta be a lot. Probably the budget.
That chick was good. That had to be a good chick.
Yeah, because especially to be naked laying there, so they can put on this shit on her.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
There was a towel on under that.
I don't know, man. So that's a very interesting scene, and it was one of the scenes that made me come up with the decision on how I felt about this episode.
Before we get started into the podcast, let me go ahead and put this out. Let me do some house cleaning real quick.
Go ahead.
Before we get started into the podcast, let me just let you guys know we want you to comment. We want your questions. We want everything. We're going to save that to the end of the pod, so that way we can kind of get through what we need to get to. Usually on this podcast, if you're just not joining us, we usually talk about the good that we see in the Black Lightning and the bad, and then some of the questions we may have ourselves, and then we go into the question part or the comment part. So just wanted to do some housekeeping first. I know sometimes we get a little crazy on here, but we'll get the housekeeping out of the way, then we can move forward.
True. Bet that. So Black Lightning, general thoughts. How are you feeling about this episode?
It wasn't last week's episode, I can say that much. And Shit. It was an episode it was very vanilla. Very vanilla for me. There were only a few things that I took away from this and that I liked, but for the most part, it's bland. I still have no idea where we're going on this ride. Don't know. What about you?
I'm much of the same. Watching it, I was excited, and see, I'm starting to realize or learn to decipher my excitement from just watching a new show versus the show being good. This episode is, I'm serious, like this episode really taught me, like, you're excited and happy to see these people on screen, but this was pretty lackluster, and so we're in the same boat. It had a beginning, middle, and end. I don't like the continuity of this show, and that's what's really pulling me out, because every episode could be boring, and you would just have a long, boring season, and that'd be a tightly wrapped up season of boring. But when the continuity is off, and not just like, oh, Anissa had on a red shirt, now it's green, whatever. But when it's like, it feels like whole scenes have been restructured or cut and paste, that's what's really making the other stuff that is bad, that's amplifying it a bit more for me.
Where do I go? Like, it's so many ways. I don't even know where to go, honestly. Like, I think they're just, if I'm being, let me just be a $150 real quick. I think they just put some shit together and just pushed it out and just said, here's your last season. There's no continuity. The writing is kind of off. One of the things that I wrote down is, why didn't we get an exposition on the year that had passed? And maybe I've said that in a past pod. We still didn't really get it's been a whole year.
It doesn't feel like it's been a year.
It's been, well, they keep saying it's been a year, and we didn't even get any exposition on what happened. Like, maybe that would help me understand why the family is so shitty this year. Like, they hate each other for all intents and purposes. And it's like, you're not used to that when it comes to the Pierce family. Like, they literally hate each other. Well, I'm not gonna say hate, but like, they don't, none of them. You don't feel like that oneness that you did at one point in time from past seasons. One thing that you can most definitely count on, especially in this show, was that everybody on the show, the family especially, they were a family.
Yeah.
And I know that I put turmoil into this and all this other stuff, but I don't like it, and it just doesn't really give me an idea of where we're going. And then not knowing how many episodes are in this season and understanding that they're gonna have a backdoor pilot for Painkiller, everything is just kind of muddled and it's stupid.
Yeah, I feel that, and I get that. Also, this episode was a backdoor pilot for Being Mary Jane. I mean, being Lynn Stewart. So, there's that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say that. I think that would be something that would make this a bit better if you would give us some concrete. Oh, it was since the year, the war between, like, give me a little bit more of a, like, Black Panther opening like we got in the Black Panther movie. I keep referencing that, but that's like my go-to. Like, give me something.
One thing that I wish they would have done, and they did this very first episode, since they like the animation part so much in the beginning of the episode, they have a voiceover with Jefferson talking about what happened the year after, for that whole year. And that would have helped us out with understanding the family a little bit, but just understanding the dynamic, because they're talking about a lot of stuff in this. It's a lot of stuff that they're talking about, and I got it in my notes that I just don't know where it came from.
Yeah, because didn't we end last season with them in like all black walking out of a courthouse in Metropolis or something? Like,
I mean, they testified and all this other stuff, and they were a family, but
not anymore. Yeah, so I'm with you. It's kind of off-putting, especially when there's no explanation, and then we're missing people like Brandon. Not that I'm just in dire need of seeing Brandon, but like
career now. He got a singing career now.
Oh yeah,
you heard Lloyd's new album?
Get it, shouty. Get it? But yeah, like you got stuff like this, and then you got all these side characters who are very integral for at least the last half of the season,
Right.
and they're nowhere to be found. There's no mention of them. Like
Yep.
we've seen Jennifer a shit ton of times, and there's no mention of Brandon at all. Where is this? Where Dr. Jace? Anybody? Like what? It's like
been a year, though.
didn't exist, but not for us.
Here.
Not for us.
I mean, you gonna have to. I think we're just gonna have to deal with it, and that's gonna be it.
Yeah,
That's how I look at it. Like it's been a year. Y'all just gonna have to deal with it.
Mhm.
So let me go into. You have any other general thoughts? Because I'm about to go into.
No, not really. I mean, I have some things I'll touch on over the episode, but overall, it was kind of a quiet, boring episode.
Yeah, it was very vanilla for me.
Mhm.
Also, so on my good list of things, the very opening, just one line that made me smile so hard. When Tobias was like, "Jeff, sit your weak ass down. Dinner is served." Yo, when I heard that from Tobias, I went crazy. I thought that was amazing. The opening scene was not very good to me, but it was enough. I think to this whole thing with Tobias and Jeff and him having these dreams and stuff like that is pretty good. But that line right there's kind of sold it for me. Something else that I thought was really good this episode, that Fight Club, Lala's Fight Club.
Okay.
Look, I thought that was really good. It does get a bit cartoony. We get to the second half of the episode with Jefferson fighting and stuff, and you got Zangief from Street Fighter whooping people's ass. Like, I was like, y'all really gonna put Zangief in here?
I mean, why not? Mortal Kombat got a reboot. Street Fighter could get one too. Why not? Yeah.
I thought again, Will Collette being Tattoo Man still doing an excellent job to me. Yep. I think the whole scene where he had with Broke Leg Gangster, that scene was really good. You didn't like it?
Now, I'm a little concerned about that scene.
Why is that?
Because I don't know if that's I don't know, man. Okay, so overall, it was a good scene because it took care of the guy from last episode, what he did, Jefferson seeing him at his house, and then him working for Lala. Like that element, great. But something about the way that they treated him and even the conversation surrounding him being crippled felt very, I don't want to say problematic because that feels, it just felt, I was like, I feel like y'all might be teetering the line here, but I don't know. I don't. It's something about the conversation that they had. I was like, this is.
He was upset. So Lala was upset about him tipping off Blackbird. He said, "You killed the kid." Now, clearly, Lala doesn't care about you killing the kid for real. He was really more mad about tipping off Blackbird because he's already have problems with her and he's trying to keep her off of his ass. And he was just like, "Well, it was business, you know." And he was like, "You know what? I was thinking the very same thing."
No, all that was good. All that was good.
So what was the problem?
It's more or less the wording. Now, I'm one who tries to champion, of course, minorities and those who are underrepresented. And so I am not handicapped in that regard. So I don't know if that was anything that was problematic. We'll just say that. Everybody understands what I mean with that. And so I was like, this wording feels odd. But again, I may be wrong. Like I said, the scene did what it needed to do, but something about some of the words they were using, I was like, I wonder if this is. So it's just a thought of mine.
He said he crippled me.
Yeah, and but I don't. It's just the handling. It might not be a big deal at all, but I'm saying it just felt like, I don't know. But overall, I think the scene did what it needed to do, and I'm happy we actually got that light-skinned guy again. Because remember, the first guy who Jefferson blinded, he just gone. He's walking around Freeland with no sight, just like.
Oh my God!
Yeah, so
disappeared. But I think that Lala doing his thing as far as like being Tattoo Man. I like his tattoo. I like how the tattoo burnt on his hand after he killed him. I was like, okay, so they sticking with the Tattoo Man stuff. I like that.
Yeah,
that was working very well. I just like the whole thing a lot. I even like the whole concept of Lala being like, yo, we gonna make money, like they say, yo, we ain't making no profit. It'll be a minute before we turn profit. He's like, man, I ain't even worried about that right now. This is the future of making money. We gonna make money this way. It's still illegal, I'm still doing crime shit and it's illegal, but I'm still doing what I gotta do to make money. And I like that. I thought that was smart. It kind of shows that Lala's like, because of course, last episode we got the whole thing with Blackbird and he's like, yo, let me just figure out another way to make this bread. And let me just do a legal fight club, and then they could just send their bets online. To me, that whole situation was dope, and
that should have been a bigger arc. Like that should have been what we started with. Like if we're coming off of a year, we should have went right into that and like trying to figure out why are all these people like Marcel broken and fucked up, and then they're like, oh, I can't tell you because I can't tell you about the fight club, but with the war that happened, this is the only way to make money. Like that would have been a better frame of this season, because it would have been an extreme difference from the very last scene of season 3. That would have been better. Just go into that. Still give me the brooding Jeff and the shit he dealing with, but have the backdrop be for 3 episodes, this secret fight club, and then this is the reveal, like, oh shit, now Jefferson got to suit up because he got to fight at the fight club, so yeah.
Man, who losing to Marcel? First of all, if a nigga named Marcel whoop me, man, I deserve it.
That got to be the name of somebody in the writer's room, like uncle or cousin, and they're like, I'm getting you in the show. He's like, man, you gonna put my name in the show, Uncle Marcel? All right, nephew, I got you. Like Marcel, these black ass names. But yeah, I like that actor is getting work, but with the way the show is structured, are we even gonna see Marcel past this episode?
Yeah, he in Jefferson house, and
his family ain't.
He got to get his kids back. He got a little bit of a story arc.
Oh, he got a wife?
No, his wife. I think his wife did. He trying to get his kid. Do you pay attention to the show at all? His kids is
Child Protective Services.
Yeah. So he trying to get his kids back. His wife, we don't know where she is. Who knows? She probably
got wives that he made.
She tricking at the hotel from season 1. Who knows?
Okay, cool. Okay, that's what she doing.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing at all.
Out of that hotel.
Yep, it's a hard day's work. You got it. She doing that. This nigga. So yeah, I do like the fight club of it all. I like Devontae too, mainly because, I mean, again, representation. We got a big ass black dude who looks black, big ass black features. That's a black man, and he's there. I know on CW we ain't seeing too many people that look like Devontae.
That's because you watch Nancy Drew and Riverdale all the time. Stop watching.
I don't lie to these people.
Stop doing that. You need to watch
this
the
nigga
shows on CW.
Don't lie to these people. Don't lie to these
watch
people.
That one sometimes. Maybe you'll see some of your own kind.
You really go sit here and lie to these folks. I'm gonna let you make it. But these lies, they're gonna have to stop after this.
I'm just trying to help you. You may. We don't see a lot of. I'm just telling you what you need to watch.
Not on CW. You ain't seeing no shit.
Stop watching Riverdale and Nancy Drew.
Nigga, Riverdale is nah, man. Nah. All right, y'all see Cole trying to play. He trying to play. All right, nigga. All right. So that happened. I'm happy with Lala as well. What's some more your good for this episode?
So I thought the Larson line. Was that the name of the show?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. It really mirrors what's happening in as far as like news media right now, as far as like people actually posting doctor footage, not really getting the full story. I thought the way they just showed the media being very, very what's the word? Not very
biased?
Not fully. Well, they're not really being fully truthful with what that they get, which we get a lot of that now in the news. Like that's a real thing. Like the news now doesn't give us the full story. And when they did that, I was like, yo, that was actually pretty good. Because a lot of these news stations do the same thing. They spin stuff and then they get footage and then it's just bad. So I thought they did a good job with that. Did you catch what they were watching after?
This is a reality TV show, right? What was that?
They were watching Living Single.
Man, I would no because no.
They
When
were watching Living Single.
Well, I wouldn't pay attention to that because once she cut that back off, she's like, "I'll put my show back on." I was like, "Wait, but this." I was still hung up on the fact that Lynn was watching this, her who shall not be named parody. I was like, "What is this? Is she watching Fox News? Like, if that's what you own, sure. That's not enough to save it for me, but cool."
No, I'm just saying that was a good Easter egg. That was a good for all you guys who don't know. Chris Williams, who is Black Lightning, was on Living Single, and when she said, "Put my show back on," it was Living.
No, that's cool. But F that, F Lynn, all that, because
we gonna get that. We gonna get that, and we.
No, that was cool. That was cool. No, but I don't know about how I feel about that Larson line. Like I like the idea of it, but again, it's another aspect of the show that I feel like we should have started with her. Like she should have been the framework of the first episode. Like her, the therapy session, and the fight club. Those would have been great because now it kind of feels like, oh, let's throw this whole episode to me felt like a commercial of buzzwords. That's what it felt like to me. And that it didn't feel genuine. It felt like they wrote a script and was like, these are the words that SEO recognition. I didn't like it.
They did a horrible job at writing because a lot of the lines.
I'm controlling my own narrative. If nothing else, I'm controlling my own narrative. Like, Jen, what, girl? Shut up. So I did like the Larson line, but I felt like it was random. I was like, who is this white woman? And like, oh, evil white woman. Like,
Jennifer don't really have a storyline this season, if you haven't noticed. So they had to give her something.
She keep flying to the moon and back every night. You know, there's that. I like it, but I just think it could have been done better. I think it could have been executed a little bit better. I mean, so kudos to her. Everybody get y'all checked, but like, do better. So I wasn't a fan of the Larson line.
Now you sound like me from last week. This episode really soured your puss, didn't it?
Because it has a lot of great things, but they just did not. They missed the mark on a lot of it for me.
So the things aren't hitting for you right now.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, because even Jen's interaction with that young boy, I don't even remember his name, the little red boy with the
man, I hated that. That's on my bad stuff. So,
but that could have been something. Like if we had her meet a boy for real, let that be him in the first episode, and then it turned out this the same. Like it could have been something. But now I was like, oh, if you can get me a kiss, Predator, shut up, little boy. Like what are you? Nah. It was weird. It was weird, man.
What else? That's really it. The only other thing I had was the Zanky stuff for Fight Club. I thought that was pretty dope.
Okay.
Shout out to Release the Beast. They did like the Beast with Daft Punk, so I thought that was pretty dope.
That was good. I'm with you there.
It's a mashup between Robot Rock and Release the Beast, and there's a whole history behind that song. But anyway. I thought that was pretty good. One last thing that I wanted to point out too, which I think you said something on Twitter about it, and I wanted to kind of put it out there. I think a lot of people, if you paid enough attention, you heard Lynn talk about John in her therapy.
Yeah.
So there's been an ongoing thing with people thinking that John and Lynn are brother and sister. That is only fan theory. Nothing in the DC universe has been one of those. Nothing has been written in the DC universe to make them brother and sister. I looked this up. I think Tony Isabella had a point where he wanted to do that, and they did something. They kind of retconned it. But now you may know a little bit more than me, but from what I read and what I researched, they said that Lynn Stewart and John Stewart aren't related.
What is the Black Lightning mini series that came out right before season 1? I think it was mentioned in there.
Cold Hands.
Yeah, like did she not mention in there that, like in passing, it wasn't like my brother's a Green Lantern. It was like, no, I'm not saying you're wrong.
No, I don't know because you've read. I don't really read the Black Lightning comic books like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really kind of did a little bit of research before we got on the show.
Yeah.
But from what I read, it's always been different things that I read said it's always been fan theory and not something that has been written. Now you can probably double back and you can speak more to it because you've read more Black Lightning comic books than I have.
Yeah.
So I mean, we can put a pin on it and come back next week. You can be
and
like,
also, if you guys have any insight, let us know. Use that hashtag BLMPod for those of you watching live. Leave a comment in the comments, and we'll circle back to that. But we'll circle back to that. But even still, the fact that all the fans was like, "Oh shit, Green Lantern!" I was like, "All right, where you at?" So yeah, that's
get you out every time. They get you every time. Is
there
anything else you want to add on to the good list from this episode?
Honestly, as it pertains to Lynn, her sessions with the therapist to me were good because it was like I'm holding up a mirror of what it is that your issues. But the bad part, I think, because I have thoughts on Lynn, I think the show itself is the reason why Lynn is such a terrible person now. It's not like like the actress is doing what she needs to do.
Right.
She's giving us Lynn. But when they made that turn and had her addicted to green light, it's been downhill from there. And it's almost like it happened and then there was no way to turn it around.
Right.
Like you could have just shelved her for a couple episodes, sent her to rehab, did what she had to do, let her fight her demons, but then come out. And it could have been a very inspiring story about addiction and about how you're in lifelong recovery mode, that you're not cured per se. But this, I don't like the direction that they've taken her. And so now she's a very unlikable character. But the moments that we got of her talking about, well, I don't have any friends and my family doesn't want me, even though I still have pushback on some of her comments, I like the idea that we're getting more into Lynn than we've gotten since season 1 when she went on that Nancy Drew investigation. Like
I don't really agree with that because I think the whole time that she had her rival, I think that was a lot. I think that said a lot about her character too. Dr. What was the
Jace.
Yeah, Dr. Jace. I think we learned a little bit more about her that way. We learned that, for me, in this personal opinion, but I felt like we learned that Lynn is a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like she once somebody kind of goes up against her, she had a rival, and then it kind of got to a point.
She had more to do with her. What I'm saying is not just she's a strong woman, sure, but when she was investigating on her own, that gave us a little bit more than just science Lynn. And with Jace, you got somebody to play off of. But there's now understanding that you're on your own. Jace is no longer around. That was probably the closest thing she had to a girlfriend. And then even learning about her family. Like, we haven't went into detail about Lynn and her family. Like, everything has been about the Pierces and about Jefferson and his dad and his past demons.
Right.
We haven't got, so like I said, even though I have certain feelings about her this season, I like the idea that we're actually getting some of her, though it's in a shitty way. We're getting more about her, her history, her family, what makes her tick. Were we supposed to know she's like from a military family? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I like. That's
a lot of backstory.
To be thrown into one therapy session.
You like a lot of backstory.
Yeah, but I like it to make sense. Like, yeah, I just like it to make sense. Don't just be like, yeah, Cole, I love Black Lightning because my dad was a superhero as a kid, and when he used to get shot by the cops, he used electric. Like, no, it's like, nigga, what? What do you think about? So yeah, I do like a lot of backstory.
Your mother got shot by the cops too?
Yeah, but this is back when he won an Olympic gold medal. You want to hear about his wife? No, she's not important because we're only talking about him. So like,
okay. Black Jesus, what'd you expect?
Yeah, whatever.
And his name ain't Marcel, so thank God for that.
Well, Marcel won more fights than Jefferson, so that's all the good.
I can't disagree with you when you're right.
I mean, so yeah, what you got on your bad list, man?
So starting off, it's really more about Lynn taking people's powers, and like, I'm tired of her being a crackhead. Like, can we get back to her being a scientist or being like, I'm just tired of being on crack. I'm so sick of it. And then you know what's funny? You know what makes me feel so good when we're on Twitter is when I keep saying that she's a crackhead and you keep going against me, and then other people who we don't even know on Twitter agrees and like, you know, that's crackhead behavior. Yeah, I've been around crackheads. I know how crack works.
Yeah,
I know how crack works.
I can see. Yeah, but go ahead because I have pretty much. You're right.
She's a crackhead, and I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. Okay, Lynn is a beautiful black woman. I enjoy her fucking science, Lynn. I think her being the guy in the chair works for me, but I am tired of her. Every time we walk in through the door, she got some kind of new power, and I'm sick of it. I'm done. I'm sick of it. It's stupid. Stop doing it. Stop.
Yeah, when again it doesn't move. It doesn't serve the plot. Like her with those kidnappers in episode 1, I think it was like, what was that? That went nowhere. So I'm with you. Now there's no more denying. I won't push back. It's just. It's like they want her to be too much. They want her to be addicted to these drugs. They also want her to be this world-renowned scientist. They want her to be this overprotective mother. And you can be a lot of things. No one is just one thing. But Lynn,
I don't crack.
I mean,
shit.
Yes,
you just can't smoke the TV and just be like, well, I'm taking care of my kids. You can't do that.
Yeah,
that is not how crack works in the community.
In DC, it does. In DC's CW Freeland, it does.
Well, go out to the Bay Area and figure out how crack works.
That's okay. I'm okay. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's your bad is yeah. I have to agree. Lynn has not been. She's not my favorite. She hasn't been for a while, and I think it's really the fault of the show writing her in a way and having her do things that made no sense.
Right.
Like when she had that whole meth lab last season. It's like, why is this? Because to your point earlier, I don't see where this is going. Like, is she going to get over her addiction? Is she going to succumb to it? Like, where? I mean, I get kind of a glimpse of it with the final scene with you know who, but that's just surface level stuff. Like, mentally, is she still going to be addicted for the rest of this damn season? Like, are we going to end with her dead or something?
I know how we going to end. I think she dies. I'm calling it now. Cole's crazy prediction time. Lynn's gonna die this season.
Okay. I mean,
okay, so what is it gonna make Jefferson put the suit back on?
No. I mean, I'm with you. I'm saying that wouldn't be the weirdest thing to happen. Like, or maybe Jennifer does, because we already know China is not feeling this season.
I don't think they're gonna go that route.
I mean, what if I don't? We don't even know.
She's gonna turn into pure energy and be like,
peace out.
Yeah.
We only got 2 more episodes of this season. So.
Man, I really miss my nigga.
you childish.
Man, I really miss my nigga. So something else that was giving me a problem. Why you make me do these things? Something else that makes that have a real problem with this. And this is the overall show. So everything is really everything that weapons, everything else is really like, yo, these metas. And I'm like, I thought gangs were the problem.
What?
We got these guns for these metas, and I'm like, y'all ain't really been showing a lot of metas on here, dog. Like, I've only seen this whack ass shootout and the Cobras and the 100 fighting.
But see,
no superpowers.
No, I think, and this is another reason why we should have had a better setup of this season. My understanding is all of the meta stuff they're talking about is from the war that happened in that year.
It's been a year, homie. It's been a whole year.
And there's been more metas featured on this show in prior seasons in one episode than we've gotten this whole season.
There you go.
Because I was like Lala, you're a meta. Like you are fucking like
So this war on metas that they're gearing up for, and these guns that Gambi stole from his girlfriend, which is another thing that really saddens me. Like Gambi was gonna get some, and then he was just like, I'll just do the job.
I mean, he can still get some. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I think he's using her.
But even that is like, where are you going from there? Oh, I'll sneak it back in before she. Nigga, what are you talking about? How did you get this gun out though? But
it's Gambi. We didn't seen him do spy shit before.
I mean, yeah, but still, like that's a big gun. That gun's like at least 2 feet tall.
He had to do much. She was showing him everything, and she was just like, that Gambi.
No, she was like, Peter. She called him Peter.
Oh yeah, that Peter. He's like, that's right, baby. Come on over here.
Peter's back. No,
it is a thin line between love and hate, baby.
One of the issues I had, well, two, one you mentioned is the 100. I don't like the fact that this show keeps using that name. Y'all ain't did shit with this 100 since season 1. Season 1, they were set up like a big bad, like a permanent B plot that could really mess some stuff up. You wasted potential. Wasted. Because out of 100, the Lala's henchmen outside of Devontae, like the random young kids he got killing for him, who are the 100?
That's my problem. I'm confused. You got a whole gang war going on, and they're blaming that on the whole event for Markovia. But then y'all gearing up for the metas, which I haven't seen. So I don't know I don't know what's going on in Freeland.
Yeah, they don't know.
Where's Sanjay and Birdie at? They somewhere around too.
Damn, that's what I said. I said on Twitter that Zangief character, he has to be a Sanjay or Purdy. Where is he coming from?
Street Fighter.
How is the geography of Freeland? Like, I think this show would be served from a good map, even if you honestly just give us a map of Atlanta and just change the name. Because I don't know what the hell going on. I don't know where anything is located. I don't know.
But you gotta think the crisis kind of changed all of that stuff too. Remember, crisis brought everything together, so they might not even be in Atlanta no more.
But they're not, even if we're going to blame it on crisis and a year out from the war, whatever, you still haven't done a good job at setting this up for new viewers, let alone folks like us who've been here forever and a day. Like, so I don't know, whatever. I'm over it.
Get over it, Rain. And just watch the show for what it is, okay?
I'm over it.
That's your problem.
My other issue that's really big is Grace and Anissa.
Why is this on my paper? So this is what I got. So Grace and Anissa, why? What is happening? What's going on?
Why are we
doing this? Do you want to go first? Or should I?
Yeah, because so I'm not a woman, I'm not a lesbian. I imagine that seeing Nafessa Williams playing Thunder has to look good, has to feel good to see a beautiful black woman, dark skin, representing this marginalized group, because I get the same feels when I see certain people on screen.
Right.
But if we're looking at this show, and this has been shitty and been trashed since day one of season 1. And I get that everybody's not perfect, so I'm not saying just because you're LGBTQAI, you have to be perfect. That out the window. But Anissa is a special kind of terrible. When we got her and Darius in the last episode, again, the continuity is really ruining this for me, because if Grace has been in a coma for a year, in episode 1, Jen was like, hey man, she's been in a coma for a year, you might want to let her go, whatever. And you snapped at her. Mm-hmm. But then in episode 2, you meet Darius, which we should have met him in the first episode. He should have been introduced so we get used to seeing this man. Mm-hmm. You give him hey boy, you ain't gotta try to mac on me. I remember macking back in the day. Like, okay, all right, Anissa.
Thanks, Uncle Anissa.
Hello, at the barbecue, at the grill, cooking. Yeah, youngster. I know. Okay, sir. Okay, Uncle.
How you like your ribs?
Shut up, boy. So my thing is, if she is already so emotionally bogged down and she's so caring about her girlfriend, how is it that my girlfriend has been in a coma for a year, who I know has the ability to transform into different people and things? If I see a live leopard in her bed, I'm thinking, okay, she's out of the coma. So let me get excited.
No, we're thinking she's out of the coma.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, at the very least, if she can't transform back to Grace, she's at least like, to me, this was like a development. I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do now? She was like, oh fuck, I can't deal with this. And that's not even exaggerated. She was like, oh, Darius, let's go out for drinks, brother. We're brothers now. I'm like, what is this? So then we come back, and in this episode, it's like, oh, I want to marry my girlfriend. It's just
make it make sense.
I don't understand. It's, again, another reason why this show felt like a walking buzzword commercial, where she's like, oh, Grace, when she's putting lotion on Grace's legs while she's still in a coma. Again, hey, ooh, Grace, I really did good for the community, and it wasn't no violence. Girl, why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about this?
I'm raising my hand because I have something to say about that.
Go ahead.
All you did was leave a fucking park for the homeless. You didn't put up no shelter. You just said, yo, this is a safe zone. That's what you did, homie. Like, that ain't help. Okay, maybe it is helping the homeless in her way, but that don't make no sense to me. All you did was tell the two gang leaders that this is a safe zone and the homeless can come here and do what they need to do, and you can't give them crack. That's all you did. Now, it ain't like the homeless can't go get crack outside of the safe zone, because please believe me, they are. But that don't count for shit to me.
So I think it does. I think it does, but I think what she did matters, but not in the grand scheme of all her other actions. Because there again was, you caught two head crime lords. You could have killed them. Not that I'm advocating for their murder, but you was like, Tobias, I'm finna kill Tobias. Daddy, we got to get out there. But then you catch these two people who are like detrimental to
the two biggest gangs. Two biggest gangs in Freeland that are having a gang war.
They shouldn't. No, what they should do, she should have got Devontae and Destiny. Lala should have never been captured by her. Even Devontae is pushing it, but it should have been lower tier people who are like, hey, boss, I ain't scared of this motherfucker, but this makes sense. Like, that would have been better. I don't know. So all in all, my issues with Anissa is she feels even more consistent, and a lot of it doesn't even feel like it's her fault. It feels like it's the show. Like, they had a certain amount of episodes, then maybe they chopped and screwed a few scenes around. So that's the thing that's pulling me out of the show, is that I can't even be mad like, oh, Anissa, she's just a bad girlfriend again. No, it's not even her fault. It's like time is WandaVision. It's Wanda. It was Agatha all along. Agatha did it. So that's it.
So I looked at it differently after last week's pod. I looked at Anissa's character completely differently, because you basically said it yourself. He was like, it's not really the acting, it's actually the words that you're giving her the script. I have to agree with you. You're right. Looking at some of the things she was saying, and the like when she came out of it, but how can I put it? 50% is the script, and the other 75% is the actress.
Get out of here!
Like, when she came, it didn't even feel like she was excited when Grace came back out of the.
Like, oh, you're back.
And then it's like, well, okay, I get that. That's cool. Even the whole thing that she was doing when she was talking to her while she was in a coma, and it really, that was the script. That was the script. 100%.
I told you can get that, girl. White people.
Remember when I told you about Ashy? Like, she's Asian. Okay, she's a minority. Don't worry about it.
Look, people say white folks know when they Ashy, so you ain't about to sit here and tell me. But whatever. Yeah.
And then we get to a point where she's just like, hey, I got this dude that I used to go out and get drinks with so we can get married, and you don't have to have a witness. And then so you mean to tell me that as family oriented as you have been, because she was just like, well, they got a lot on their plate. You know how your family is. You know how Jefferson and Lynn is. Even if they are beefing right now, like, come on now. you know good and well doing this. And then Grace is like, ooh, a secret wedding. This kind of turns me on. Like, girl, you just got out of a coma.
You just woke up, fam.
It's
Been a year.
just woke up. And you're like, you know what? Married don't sound too bad. I just got out of this coma. Why not?
Like,
stop with the boo-boo. Don't do that. You're trying to make me look stupid. I think if Grace would have gave her some pushback, that was a little bit more believable. Like, yo, like I literally just got out of a coma.
Like I just woke up. Who is this guy?
Yeah, who is this man? Sorry
Where
to this.
am I?
Sorry to this man. I don't even know this man.
There you go. If this man woke me up on his own, I wouldn't know a thing. So like,
sorry to this man. I don't. The story arc, and I know where this is going. We all know where this is going. Her parents are not going to approve. She's going to think because she's a lesbian, but it's not because she's being a lesbian. It's because she got married without their knowledge. I'm telling you what the story's going to be. I know what it's going to happen. It's like, oh, I'm tired of you with your lesbian ways. What are you talking about, Dad?
This man,
I love her, and it's just like you should have told us about this. We should have been there for this, or it could go a completely different way. Who knows?
With the ending we got, who knows?
But I am not a fan of this. This story arc is so bad. Anissa is still doing stupid things.
He hasn't grown.
Her character. Okay. I want her character to be better because if this show was to, let's say this wasn't the last season, but let's say Jefferson really wanted to hang it up.
Yeah.
Y'all could still move forward with Black Lightning with the daughters, and he could every now and again probably come in and help. But the way that Anissa acts, and then she talks bad about Jennifer not being trained. I'm like, girl, you about the most hot-headed, non-thinking superhero I've ever seen in my life. So it's like that character never grew at all. And I would think that, maybe they would do something to make that character better. Like I'm not irritated with the actress. I'm irritated with the script, and I'm irritated with the character because I think that character could be so much better, and you could kind of show a story of her growing from where she started from, losing a whole apartment in season 1. And you could really kind of be like, yo, I got this, Dad. Like, I can actually like handle this. And if you want to step back, you can. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not really much of a partner in this whole superhero family. To be honest with you, I don't really feel like she is.
Yeah. I mean, they're all disjointed, but I agree. At this point, her and Jennifer should be running the show. He should be allowed to grieve in the background and then focusing on him and Lynn, Jefferson and Lynn, and their issues would feel better. It would still feel kind of like two different shows, but at the same time, we all live in the same house. Y'all do that, we do that. We get the fun action with them. We get the CW drama with y'all. But yeah, I don't.
This relationship is whack, homie.
Grace and
Anissa, it's fair.
It's first of all, it's built on a bed of lies. And manipulation. I don't understand why Grace took her back when we thought that Gamby was dead. No, you can't even tell me that you're going to promise to try to not hurt me, but I'm supposed to take you back and get married. Why are we doing this?
Let me ask you a question. What's the end game for their storyline? What do you think the end game is going to be?
For them to end up married, and then that's it for them to be married. Because what else is there?
One of them got to get hurt or dead or something.
It would have to be Grace. It would have to be Grace.
So she expendable, and that girl did a whole. I was on Instagram. She did a whole IG live because her character I knew she was gonna wake up out of the coma because on IG did a whole live like Black Lightning tonight, guys. I was like, oh, you waking up tonight, aren't you? We heard from you all.
Right. We watched soap operas back in the day. We know what's up.
Now you doing the whole IG live talking about Black Lightning tonight, guys. Oh, you get out of your coma. I know what's happening with you.
Which is so weird. But yeah, no, I mean, I just feel like they've dropped the ball with a lot of characters. All in all, the show, I think the concept is good. I think what they started off with was good, but where we are in season 4 feels so different from season 1, but not in a good way because this is the final season. Like all of this turmoil should have happened when Jennifer and Cleo were on the run. Give me all of that confusion then, so we can come out of it stronger on the other side. We should have got new villains, more stronger villains. We should
Well, I mean, I pleaded that case a long time ago.
Yeah, you did, but we ain't gonna get them. Episode 9 or whatever the last episode is, we're gonna get 400 new villains and One Punch Man. Because there's no where do we go from here? This season doesn't, and they might turn around. It might surprise us, but like track record, 2 seasons in. Ain't really been the best. So
it hadn't. I think my last thing that I have is for my bad stuff, and I don't know if you have anything else to add on it, but the Jefferson Lynn Tobias Well thing at the end of the episode.
That's my bad.
That was kind of bad to me, and it was, like I knew this. Like soon as you see the flowers, you know the setup. You know Jefferson ain't sending that. You know that y'all been beefing for the last few days, and then it's like, well, she shows up, and she's like, "Oh, like you," and he was like, "Yeah, you." You know what I'm saying? She's like, "I'm getting out of here." It's like, "No, I know your secrets," which is not hard and friendly because they don't keep. No, everybody should know who this family is as far as like the superheroes.
Yes.
Wow. It's pretty.
There's only one high school in Garfield. So yeah, you should know. That's Jen, y'all. Like,
there go Thunder.
She cut her hair when you did. Yeah,
Dr. Thunder.
So whatever, man.
I didn't like that, but it really ticked me. What ticked me off the most was Jefferson walking away, and they're having dinner. Like, bro, you didn't
run on fire.
Oh, we fighting.
Like I fought you in my mind all this time. You've been punking me out in parking lots, and now that you're right in front of me, I'm trying to walk away. I'm Lynn. Let's go. Let's go where? Y'all not married, but whatever. Yeah, that was the issue for me because I felt like one, if you were going to give us that, the setup should have been better. You should have had Jefferson talking on the phone, texting. You should have set it up so that maybe he felt bad about his actions. Then get so that it would be an actual surprise. But yeah, him walking away after we started with a bad dream of him fighting to play us in the turkey leg. You really about to walk away?
Right. And you just got finished beating Zangief in the Fight Club too.
So you already adrenaline
up, bro.
And you went and got this suit. Like, I'm mad you made me put this suit on. It ain't even a principal suit. Like, it's a, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I got this suit. Man,
hey, he was dapper though. He was a dapper young man in that suit, wasn't he?
Looked good, but
he was going to get his woman.
No, he wasn't. So I don't know. That's stupid. I don't know. And they're deliberately not giving us clips for the next episode because they already know. They know what type of season they got on their hands. They know. Because if I don't see episode 4 opening up with that restaurant on fire, I don't want it.
So I guess they talk about it in therapy. She was with another man.
That's a
mortal enemy.
Whatever.
I don't believe that a man who loves his wife like that, they ain't even got to fight. All he had to do was go up to the table and be like, "I know what you're doing." Grab his wife. Because to me, let me just say this. To me, it made me feel like Jefferson was like, "Oh, so she been fucking with Tobias all along." That's what I took from it.
It might be.
But that's stupid.
It's dumb. Yeah, it's stupid. It really is. He is. He's just as dumb as Tobias said he was. How are you falling for this? You are not that emotional. Like, you can't have it both ways, and that's what's irritating me. Because they could have even stopped. Like, let's say he walked off. You could have stopped when he saw Lynn and cut off the episode. That way, I wouldn't know. I'll be like going into next week excited, like, oh, he finna whoop his ass. He walked up, I'm mad, but you're gonna give me whatever story you want to tell. That wasn't good. I'm like, man, what are you doing, fam? Like that makes absolutely no sense. And for Lynn, like Lynn, I'll say is a victim in the regard that she has this addiction, and clearly Tobias is satisfying her in a way that Jefferson's not. You're still wrong. I don't care. This scene is silly.
The reasons behind her staying, I enjoyed it. I got it. I was like, he knows your secret, but he's also going to say, look, stop worrying about this meta stuff. I'm about to help you. You're about to be the first Black woman to cure cancer.
I'm gonna give you purpose that you don't have with your family. Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, okay, I can understand why she stayed for the conversation because of that. I mean, those two things alone.
You know what? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
This scene with her having dinner with Tobias and Jefferson showing up, they should have gave us just that like minute at the beginning of episode 1.
What that would
at the beginning, and then let it lead. Because I would have been like, okay, how? Because again, it's been a year, so we don't know if like it. But enough fanfic. Go ahead. I was just saying.
No, man. I just think that the rationale behind making her stay was really good. Like that part of it was good. I got it. But just him not going over there to get his wife and him walking away, that just doesn't. That don't sit well with me. And I know they're in a bad place, but they're not in that bad of a place where he ain't gonna go over there and get his woman. Come on.
Especially with Tobias. Now, if it had been anybody else, you could be like, okay, I don't know. Maybe this is a business meeting. This is Tobias well. Yeah, that doesn't track. That doesn't track at all. That didn't kill him in episode 1. So, yeah. So that's all I got, man.
You got nothing else? I think that's all
I do, but that was the thing that bothered me the most. Even the Anissa Gray stuff aside, that pissed me off more than anything.
Yeah, I think that was like my biggest. That was my biggest bad thing. Well, what we got next? So what we doing? We doing good and bad, or we doing some comments?
We'll do a little bit. Oh, it's Empress. Cole be watching Nancy Drew. He bringing it up. Yeah, I think he do be watching Nancy Drew, fam.
I don't watch Nancy Drew. For your information.
Look, this is he wanted to be your next review show. I can't watch but goatee. Yeah, no, Nancy could keep that. Y'all know what I'm looking for. That black queer millionaire. But that aside, what she say? Cole super hater tattoo man is bringing a sex appeal this season. Oh, he's to make an appearance on New Pink. Okay, now, all right, Empress.
That's because you two want to drool all over him.
Nah, man. I
gotta be slobbing at the mouth. Oh, look at
I just got
that you, man. Okay, so I cannot agree with this statement right here. Okay. We got a statement. Empress says Lynn's been trash since day 1. I can't agree with that.
Yeah,
by the time she switched sides and actually was down with it after season 1, I really feel like that character was a lot better. Season 2, that character was better.
Yeah, I even think in season 1 she was okay. It was new. We hadn't had anything like her on CW, even in the superhero shows. And a Black family, the Fantastic Four of DC. So I agree. I think she was better in the beginning. She looked nice in her dress, nice gowns. Yeah, I think she did look nice in her dress too. Funny enough, I'm watching Good Girls season 3 currently, and there is, without spoiling anything for people who are maybe watching, the relationship with Jefferson and Lynn is kind of mirrored in the relationship with a different couple. And so if you're watching along at home, the dress episode, the episode with the dress, that's the first thing that came to mind here. Because it's like, I mean, though you thought this was your man, you getting dialed up, but you still sitting here though. Like, you ain't get up and leave. Let's see what she said. Empress Journey says Lynn will team up with Tobias and become a bad guy, which means she'll switch her man. If we had more seasons, I would probably be like, okay, fuck it, do it. But with this being the last season, that don't sound like a good idea to me, but they might do it.
I mean, it's like 50 episodes, so
or 4. It's one or the other. There's no in between.
Next week's the finale.
Right.
Finale.
Oh man. And then Empress said, wasn't she a doctor first season? I think she's talking about
she wasn't a doctor the first season.
Oh yeah, I can't read. But no. And what else we got? He didn't watch Brown Sugar. He should have been celebrating his divorce, truly ending. Okay.
I know Brown Sugar.
Huh?
I'm just playing. I've seen Brown
Sugar. But no. I'm overall I'm happy that the season is back, but I am not really too thrilled about the season that we got.
gone so far downhill from the first episode was like promised, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, well, not anymore. Not anymore. So, with that being said, do you even have a favorite character this episode?
I do. Mayor Black.
William.
AKA William. He was 6'8", and he looked like he could wig everybody's ass. His scene was so good, and I was like, why don't we get more of him?
Yes.
He was like, Negro, please. I know what you're trying to do. I was like, go ahead, William. Go ahead.
Yeah. He was like, man, we ain't gotta be.
He was like, we in front of the cameras, we got to smile and shuck and jive, but he was like, I know who you are. I know who you are. I'm not gonna close Garfield. So
yeah. Which was another thing that, again, they could have set that up better, because I do like William. I do like that conversation, and I want more of that. But what made me more upset at that was the fact that there's only one high school in Freeland. That right there is pissing me off. And then two,
it's more than one, I'm sure. I think that's the traditionally black high school that everybody went to. He said, no matter what, he said, I went to Freeland. My friends went to Freeland. I went to Freeland. My kids and hopefully my grandkids. So that's been a pillar probably in the black community for a while. So
okay, well,
it's more than that, because it's white people there too, and white kids ain't going to Garfield.
Yeah, they're going to Metropolis. Like, how far are we from Metropolis that he's like, yeah, they'll be moving on up to the east side?
Go. Let the damn map go.
Nope. No. So
that's not my favorite character, by the way. You wrote that down. I don't want you. I was being facetious when
I put him down.
Yeah, I was being funny.
Who's your favorite?
Lala was my favorite character.
Okay, Lala. I would say Lala, but I gotta go with TC just because we got him. He's the black boy that survived. You know, he not killed.
I can't stand you. For people who have listened to this podcast for a long time, go back and listen to some of the horrible things that Rain said about TC.
Like, why the hell is he here?
Went in on TC.
What is his point?
TC, and now that's one of his favorite characters now.
Yeah, well, in this episode in particular, because this show ain't good with young black boys. They kill everyone, no matter if they're on the good side or the bad side. I like that he got his interaction with Gamby. He got his interaction with Jennifer. Like, he made sense in this episode. They gave him something to do, and I'm gonna keep championing for him if he gonna show up and do it. Because why not? This black boy get the chance.
Old face bastard when he first got on the screen.
Not old face bastard. I'm like, why the hell was he here? I didn't understand. What the you got all these.
Good stand, TC.
He comes from a season where there were a ton of metas. Where the hell did he belong? Where did he come from? Now he makes more sense with the show. His relationship with Gamby, flushed that out more. His relationship with Jen, even though she's using it, which, might I add, the Pierces are terrible. Every person that shows up who is of service to them, TC, Gamby, Brandon, I'm sure, it's like they're shitty to these people.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to just do what you say because I'm your friend. Yeah, no. That's also, I'm like, TC, boy, take down her suit the way she. I got to control my own narrative. Fam, but whatever. So I'm still going with TC. Who's your least favorite?
I can't stand you. I can't stand you. You dogged that boy out when he first got on the show. You was just like,
there was no point. I thought that there was no reason.
Coming on here. What is he doing? Why
was he here?
Technology. He should be doing those things. Oh God, I can't. Here we go. Another one. So who watched Nancy Drew now? Who watched Riverdale now?
You
watch it. Anyway. Anissa and Grace are my least favorite this episode.
Anissa is mine.
I had to give Grace half of that too because she just woke up and was like, "Let's get married."
Fuck tradition. Yeah,
she's not a victim. She is most definitely making sure that it is okay.
She's a conspiracy. Yeah, she's that. So out of five lightning strikes, what do you rate this episode?
I will give this one at least a 2. And that's because the Fight Club to me was really, I really enjoyed the Fight Club part of it. And I honestly enjoyed, the Fight Club was cool. Seeing Mayor Black, I thought that was cool. And I know this gonna sound crazy, but Marcel got a place to live. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Marcel
Yeah.
gotta live on these streets no more.
Damn, and Jefferson took that man's money. I'm like, man, give him that money back. He was like, first month's rent. Sir, you have bigger problems.
You was sleeping in a car last week, sir.
You talking about first month's rent? You can't get your kids back off hope and dreams, man. No. I got it a 2.3 because of everything you said. How you gonna take this man's money, Jefferson? He's like, all right, nigga, you're wealthy. You're in a big suburban house in the sky. Man, he's terrible, man. He's terrible. So
Marcel was like, he didn't want to give him money for real. He didn't want to give him money for real. He was just
but
like,
that's his fault. He kept pushing. He's like, man, you gave me a place to stay. Man, so what?
he hoped he would say no so bad.
Now he got to go fight again, get beat down. So, and then imagine letting him teach these kids with your face all. What? Get out of here.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. For real though, I thought that was a really good. It was just like he had been through a lot. Marcel had been through a lot, and for that man to get a house and then gave him some money too, I was like, shit, he winning in this shit right now.
And he should actually be my favorite because that's the MVP right there. Yeah, I'm gonna take back that TC and give it to Marcel. He winning. Yeah, I'm changing my answer to Marcel. Yeah,
Marcel didn't want to give him that money, but you know.
So yeah,
you know he wanted to keep that place to stay. So I ain't mad.
You know he did. Okay, well shit. You know, that's our rating and scores and all that good stuff. So that's been the episode. Any final thoughts or all that? Or give yourself
so I talked to real quick. I talked to Shogun, who was part of another half of the Government Name Podcast, which comes out every Tuesday, BYNK Radio or BYNK Podcast Network. Talked to him when we was recording the podcast, and he was just like, he was like, I hate this show. He's like, this show sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't argue with him.
Yeah.
Because none of it makes sense. It is a goopy mess.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say about this is
goopy mess.
It is a goopy mess. I think that maybe I think the longer that we go into the show, hopefully, I'm thinking by the time we get to the Painkiller backdoor pilot, maybe it'll pick up because I'm looking at it from a standpoint of this. There's no way they can make this show that bad and expect people to go watch that Painkiller show.
Yes, they can. And I'll tell you why. This is a CW show. It's targeted at like late teens, early 20s. A lot of the comments that I see when shows like this and Batwoman and Arrow and Flash and all that was on, it's a lot of praise for what I feel like is not really quality content. Mm-hmm. And then even that aside, a lot of the issues with like race and presentation and representation is lost on some of these people. Like you get a lot of fan cams made of like Grace and Anissa, and I'm like, is it strictly because of the representation? Because they're both two attractive women in their own right. And then to have them together, if I was a young lesbian girl, I would imagine this would be like the shit for me. Like, oh, hell yeah. But like stuff like that aside, this show is going to have an audience because 1, it's on CW, 2, the target audience, and 3, it's already within that ecosystem of the Arrowverse. Yeah, a lot of people might not watch it who also watch The Flash, but odds are if you're watching All American, you'll probably stay to the end and watch some of Black Lightning. So there's going to be an audience no matter what. So
that's a bad way to sell. That's a bad way to sell a new show.
I mean, but if this is what we've been given, so hopefully things will turn around. But then also Khalil, conventionally attractive black guy, he's light skinned, and I'm saying all this stuff not even being funny. Like if you look at Riverdale and Nancy Drew and any other show with young teens or young-ish people in cast, how many? When I watch Riverdale, every episode, Archie took his shirt off. It's the same thing with Khalil. Him and Anissa are the sex symbols of this show. That's why this will consistently get the views. It might not be the amount that they want, but they will keep getting the views. This show will be seen. So this backdoor pilot, it's going to be watched. People are going to watch that off the strength of Khalil alone. So
Makes sense. Makes sense.
yeah, so go. Don't sound so upset. Don't be so sad about it, man.
Shout out to Social Introvert, dope show, man. He did a quick tell Shogun not to watch Batwoman. Then Black Lightning is a bit more common. We'll see.
Yeah.
Guys, if you want to get at me, you can hit me up on Instagram. You see what it says down here at the bottom at CodeJackson_B1K. Or if you want to talk to me on Twitter, you can hit me at CodeJackson12.
Yes. You can hit me at CodeJackson12 if you have hate mail. No. His links will be in the show notes. Mine the same as well. You have CarefreeBlackNerd down here at the bottom for my Instagram. CarefreeBlurred. There we go. I don't know. As the Twitter handle, that's the most immediate way to get in touch with me. CarefreeBlackNerd@gmail.com. If you want to send an email, you want to talk shop, you got some other things on your mind that you don't want on the timeline because Black Lightning's back. So
ask why he liked Nancy Drew so much.
Ask Cole why he lying so much. So that will be in the show notes. And if you like to listen to Cole Jackson's other podcast, the Government Name Podcast, those links will be in the show notes as well. Well, until next time, stay carefree, stay nerdy, stay geeky, stay out
of hospital rooms because they will make you get married, make you marry people.
Shut up. Yeah, man. So yeah, well, this is it. And y'all have a good night.
I think I understand physics, and I'm using them to heal, no sparks. I want to understand Jen's rate of recovery.
Asking is too difficult.
I need to study the variables